नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवतसेवया भगवती उत्तमा श्लोके भक्तिर्भवती नैष्टिकी। ॐ अज्ञानातिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरुः श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगना रघुनाथं वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगना ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितंश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमस्ते। तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णकृष्णवितले प्रभुपादति प्रिय श्री गिरिराजाय स्वामिने सुभक्तारास बिहारिभ्यं भक्तियश्चात्मदायिने। नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णकृष्णवितले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। मुखं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरु दीनतारिणं। हरे कृष्ण। So we are discussing Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 6, Chapter 4, 29:30, no? Okay, okay, all right. So 29. Yatyaniruktam, no, Yatyaniruktam vachasa nirupatam diyakshabhirva manasotayasya ma bhutsvarupam gunarupam hi tattat सवे गुणापाय विसर्गलक्षणः. Anything? Yeah. 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 Anyway, this is usually the prayers. They have all the philosophy. So it takes time how to study them carefully. So anything expressed by material vibrations, anything ascertained by material intelligence, and anything experienced by the material senses or concocted within the material mind is but an effect of the modes of material nature, and therefore has nothing to do with the real nature of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Supreme Lord is beyond the creation of this material world, for He is the source of the material qualities and creation. As the cause of all causes, He exists before the creation and after the creation. I wish to offer my respectful obeisances unto Him. This is hot boiling water. One who manufactures names, forms, qualities, or paraphernalia pertaining to the Supreme Person of Godhead cannot understand Him. So we concoct, His name, since He's beyond creation. So we use our imagination to create something about the Supreme Lord. Like His name, where does He live, how He looks like, right? Anyway, we can't understand His household environment, right? The Supreme Lord is the creator of everything, and this means that He existed when there was no creation. Obviously, if you are to create something, let's say you're going to create this, right? Meaning you exist before this came into existence, naturally, right? It's logical. In other words, His name, form, and qualities are not materially created entities, They are transcendental always. Therefore, by our material concoctions, vibrations, and thoughts, we cannot ascertain the Supreme Lord. This is explained in the verse, Ataha Shri Krishna Namadi na bhavat grahyam indriye. So Prabhupada quoted that verse in the previous purport also. Prachetasa Daksha herein offers prayers unto the transcendence, not to anyone within the material creation. Only fools and rascals think God a material creation. This is confirmed by the Lord Himself in Bhagavad Gita 9.11. Avajananti mam muddha manushyam tanum ashritam param bhavam ajananto mamam bhutam maheshwaram. Fools deride me when I descend in the human form. They do not know my transcendental nature and my supreme dominion over all that be. Therefore, one must receive knowledge from a person to whom the Lord has revealed Himself. There is no value in creating an imaginary name or form of the Lord, like Govinda. Like Govinda, okay, we know Krishna, but then say, no, Govinda is also His name, then Gopal is also, Mukunda, Madhava, right? Say, this is also His name. So, where you got it? You don't create it, right? Yeah. Sripad Shankaracharya was an impersonalist. But nevertheless, he said, Narayana Paro Vyaktat. Narayana, the Supreme Person of Godhead, is not a person of the material world. We cannot assign Narayan a material designation, are the foolish attempt to do when they speak of Daridra Narayan. See, this is how This is how people, they concoct names. So Prabhupada is giving an example here. So it's not a joke. When Prabhupada is saying that, the Supreme Lord is beyond creation, so we cannot manufacture names, forms, qualities, and paraphernalia pertaining to the Supreme Personal Godhead. And we can't do this. So what do? We have to accept the names that's been given in Shastra. But here you can find how in India they do this. Right? Daridra Narayan. Poo Narayan. We cannot assign Narayan a material designation as a foolish attempt to do when they speak of Daridra Narayan, Poo Narayan. Narayan is always transcendental beyond this material creation. How can he become Daridra Narayan? Poverty is found within this material world, but in the spiritual world there is no such thing as poverty. Therefore, the idea of Daridra Narayan is merely a concoction. I mean, I thought, why somebody will manufacture a name, right? Prabhupada is giving an example, Daridra Narayan. So they say, Madhav Seva, right? They say Madhav Seva, so concoction again, right? And very popular. Then what will they say? Work is worship, right? They create, right? When Krishna said work is worship, working for Krishna is worship. Work is not worship.
When you do it for self, then where is it?
You do it for the company, right? You do it for the company.
They say you do karma, you don't understand.
No, I mean, it's very sad actually. It's extremely sad how people were systematically brainwashed using the basis of Shastra, because people naturally have faith in Shastra, right? Their whole lifestyle is based on Shastra. So the commercial, the politicians, this one, that one, they capture that sentiment of the people and make them work for them. That's what they do. So that's why everything is falling apart, and Prabhupada is coming and putting back the proper philosophy. But so much damage has been done. So much damage has been done. So it's like something is already crumbling, and now, Prabhupada is coming and putting up a pillar, right? Putting a pillar, to again raise. How many people will sit on that small platform, right? So those who are lucky, how it says, Yajanti he sumedhasaha. Yajanti he so those who have fine intelligence, they will accept the philosophy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Daksha very carefully points out that material designations cannot be names of the worshipable Lord. Yat yan niruktam vachasa nirupitam. Nirukta refers to the dictionary, Vedic dictionary. One cannot properly understand the Supreme Person of Godhead merely by picking up expressions from a dictionary. One cannot properly understand the Supreme Person of Godhead merely by picking up expressions. All right? In praying to the Lord, Daksha doesn't wish material names and forms to be the objects of his worship. Rather, he wants to worship the Lord who existed before the creation of material dictionaries and names. So that's why, if you go, YouTube keeps on pushing something from the speaking tree, so many people come, and I've been listening to, some of them, and you can find how, they speak something good, but then you can find that they have their limitation. And this is what is discussed here. Everybody is trying to find the truth, right? What is karma? What is soul? What happens after death? journey of the soul, etc. They will give information, and then they can't give complete information because they do not know what exists before creation. As confirmed in the Vedas, yato vacha nivartante aprapya manasa saha. The name, form, attributes and paraphernalia of the Lord cannot be ascertained through a material dictionary. Alright, the dictionary has so many words. I don't know this Nirukta dictionary, how it existed. Anybody knows?
Not existed, I don't know.
Uh-huh.
It existed.
Yeah, meaning this is just like from the time Sanskrit exists, so this dictionary is there. I heard, I learned, too much information I can't keep. I've heard about this. However, if one reaches the transcendental platform of understanding, the Supreme Person of Godhead, he becomes well acquainted with everything. So now, see, we are trying to know the Supreme Law for dictionaries, I remember when I first read Prabhupada's book, what was written there? Modes of material nature, all right? I opened the dictionary. Yeah, I actually opened the dictionary to find what is the meaning of mode. All right. What is mode? I've never heard this. More than material nature. So this is guna, right? The three guna. Now this is translated in English as mode of material nature. I suffered, believe me, I really suffered trying to figure out what Prabhupada is speaking philosophical language, right? Who's shouting like this? Yes, so we cannot know the Supreme Lord through a material dictionary. However, if one reaches the transcendental platform of understanding the Supreme Person of Godhead, what happens? He becomes well acquainted with everything material and spiritual. Right? This is confirmed in another Vedic mantra. Tameva viditvanti mrityumeti. If one can somehow or other, by the grace of the Lord, understand the transcendental position of the Lord, one becomes eternal. So what's happening is that if by good luck we understand the Supreme Lord, then we can understand how everything fits in. Right? If we are seeing the whole, then we can understand the subsets. Right? So this is further confirmed by the Lord himself in Bhagavad Gita 4.9. Janma karma cha me divyam eva yo veti tatvataha yaktva tu vyaham pumanarjanma naiti maham neti soljuna. One who knows the transcendental nature of my appearance and activities does not, upon leaving the body, take his birth again in this material world, but attains my eternal abode, O Arjuna. Simply by understanding the Supreme Lord, one goes beyond birth, death, old age, and disease. Srila Shukadeva Goswami therefore advises Maharaj Parikshit in Srimad Bhagavatam. Tasmad Bharata Sarvatma Bhagavan Ishwaro Harihi Shrutavya Kirtitavyascha Smartavyasche Chata Bhayam. O descendant of King Bharat, one who desires to be free from all miseries must hear, glorify, and also remember the person of Godhead, who is the super soul, the controller and the savior from all miseries. So these are formulas. So what did we understand from this? passage? Yeah. What did we understand from this?
That any material contraction won't work.
Yeah.
So unless you realize it in this way, then it works in spiritual life.
Yep. So how do we know? Material concoction we can't know. So how will we know?
You get all the information which is through the Vedic information. You try to take reference from that, and the other thing is when the Lord Himself reveals. So there are two ways. One is your practice of getting all information of the Lord through the Vedic literature, and again when the Lord is actually pleased with you and He comes and He reveals Himself.
Okay.
Otherwise, there is nothing material through which you can experience it.
Yeah. Now will come this text. All right. So then comes this text 30. Text 30. Yasmin yato yena cha yasmai yadyo yatha kurute kayate cha paravaresham paramam pravisiddham tad brahma tad hetur ananyatekam. Okay, you can read this.
Hare Krishna. Translation: The Supreme Brahman, Krishna, is the ultimate resting place and source of everything. Everything is done by Him. Everything belongs to Him, and everything is offered to Him. He is the ultimate objective, and whether acting or causing other to act, He is the ultimate doer. There are many causes, high and low, but since He is the cause of all causes, He is well known as the Supreme Brahman who existed before all activities. He is one without a second and has no other cause. I therefore offer my respects unto Him. Purport: The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, is the original cause. As confirmed in Bhagavad Gita, Aham Sarvasya Prabhavah. Even this material world, which is conducted under the modes of material nature, is caused by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who therefore also has an intimate relationship with the material world. If the material world were not a part of His body, the Supreme Lord, the Supreme Cause, would be incomplete. Therefore, we hear Vasudeva Sarvam Iti Sa Mahatma Sa Durlabha. If one knows that Vasudev is the original cause of all causes, he becomes a perfect Mahatma. The Brahma Samhita 5.1 declares Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachidananda Vigraha Anadi Adir Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam. Krishna, who is known as Govinda, is the supreme controller. He has an eternal, blissful spiritual body. He is the origin of all. He has no other origin, for He is the prime cause of all causes. The Supreme Brahman, Tad Brahma, is the cause of all causes, but He has no cause. Anadir Adir Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam. Govinda, Krishna, is the original cause of all causes, but He has no cause for His appearance as Govinda. Govinda expands in multifarious forms, but nevertheless they are one. As confirmed by Madhavacharya, Ananya Sadra Sabhavavat Eko Rupadi Abhedatah. Krishna has no cause or any equal, and He is one because His various forms as Swamsa and Vivinna Amsa are non-different from Himself.
This is clear? This verse is clear, right? So, just to make a note again, Krishna has no cause, no unequal. He is one because his various forms are Swamsha and Vibhinamsha are none different from him. What is Swamsha and what is Vibhinamsha? Revision. This is revision. Swamsha. What is Swamsha and what is Vibhinamsha?
Internal and external. We are the Vibhinna Amshas.
Yeah, we are Vibhinamsha, meaning we're Jiva.
We are
We are separated part of the Supreme. And Swamsha,
is eternal. External potency, eternal potency.
Amsha means part and parcel of the Supreme Law. Vibhinamsha meaning someone who is part and parcel but separate. Alright? Mamam Jiva Loka Jiva Bhuta Sanatana. So, no, and then there's another verse, 7, chapter 7. Chapter 7, which describes this Vibhinamsha. Swamsha, what is Swamsha? Swa,
Is
Amsha.
Amsha
Swamsha.
means is
Part.
part. And this
Swa,
is internal.
no. Not Swarup Shakti. It is Swamsha. If you come here, it's easy to pass the mic. Swamsha, own self. Alright? Swamsha. Revising this again. There's Swamsha and Vibhinamsha. Swamsha meaning the personal expansions of the Lord.
Expansions.
Alright?
Yes. The word is
Personal expansions of the Lord. This is Swamsha. Vibhinamsha means separated expansions of the Lord who are tiny. Alright? The Jiva, they are tiny. Alright? Now we have to get this right. We have gone so far now in the Bhagavatam.
Yes. One's own division. Swamsha.
Text 31. Yat shatayo vadatam vadinam vai vivada samvada bhuvo bhavanti kurvanti chesham muhuratma moham tasmai namo nanta gunaya bhumne. Now this is a very long purport and complicated also. Let us offer our respectful obeisances unto the all-pervading Supreme Person of Godhead, who possesses unlimited transcendental qualities. Acting from within the cause of the hearts of all philosophers, who propagate various views, he causes them to forget their own souls while sometimes agreeing and sometimes disagreeing among themselves. Thus, he creates within this material world a situation in which they are unable to come to a conclusion. I offer my obeisances unto him. Now, see, now this whole purport, when I read it, it's very philosophical, and it is actually Prabhupada who is discussing from Satsandarbha of Shri Jiva Goswami, but he has put it so simple that we can understand it. If you will read the original, all this, it's actually beyond my head. The Prabhupada has given very simple in this purport. So the theme here is that everybody is trying to find the ultimate cause. All right? This is the goal. Everybody wants to find the ultimate cause. Okay? And while the search is going on, right? So what's happening? You say one thing and I say one thing. You say one thing and this one say one thing. Everybody is saying something different, right? Like when I came to ISKCON, so I was asking questions, right? And they say this and I say, but you all say I know and you don't know, right? Every school say you don't know and I know, right? So how am I supposed to believe? How will I accept? How will I believe? And the story was that you should take little from everybody and accept nobody. Right? Take a little from everybody. Common man, this is what they'll say, right? They're not going to sit and argue and do all these discussions. Say, yes, yes, so many sadhus, so many philosophers. Everybody's saying one thing. You take little bit, right? And at the end of the day, you accept nothing. Non-conclusive. So very dangerous. So that's why Prabhupada was just pounding and pounding. Very shocking, Prabhupada's writings. Very shocking. So strong. And that's why he managed to convert and capture people and make them follow the proper path. Otherwise, everybody was saying, Aram saying, follow this path, all path lead to Rome. Right? Yato pat mato, yato mat. Right? All these stories. So everybody sit and think I'm very good Hindu at home, right? Prabhupada. So that's why Prabhupada was so much criticized. Right? Everywhere, fools and rascals, every second word, fools and rascals, right? Some people who are like little careful reader, they don't like Prabhupada. But he achieved his mission, right? Nowadays, the new people who are coming up, what are they doing? We should be free mind. We should accept everything, right? Should accept everybody, everything. Prabhupada, no. Ekaha Kurunanda. Philosophy, one only, no compromise. Zero compromise. And they think that if we don't ban, we don't this, then nobody will follow us. This is what they say. But Prabhupada was successful. I hope, whether you agree or not, I'm saying it. Prabhupada was so strong. He says 4 negative principles. Right? Not 3, not 2, not 1, 4. Right? Those who are able to follow. Right? Or we say, no, let's make it 3. Right? Let's make it only 3, it's okay. And somebody said, okay, make it only 2. Right? So here in this section, in this passage, Prabhupada is going to dissect and make us understand why these different philosophies. Very strong. Jiva Goswami, Srila Prabhupada is a strict follower of Srila Jiva Goswami. Now I have tried to understand the Sat Sandarbha and my head doesn't understand it. But Prabhupada, as I said, when reading this passage, oh my God, this is all Sandarbha, right? I thought Prabhupada, he took the philosophy, he chewed it, he digested, and he put it here, and I'm reading, I said, okay, it's already digested, so I can figure out, right? This is what Prabhupada has done for us, and remember, Prabhupada is writing for specifically 3 classes of people. Stri, Shudra and Vaishya, right? Right? The whole of Kali Yuga consists of Stri, Shudra, Vaishyas, right? So he's writing in what, in my language, I would say, journalistic style. He's writing heavy-duty philosophy in a journalistic style. So that's why when we are reading, this passage, you can just read and brush through everything, but when you sit, look and say, oh my God, this is philosophy. And because I happen to be hearing little bits, of all those other, so I'm understanding what Prabhupada is doing here. Though I can't remember a single thing about all the stuff that we read. So let's examine this passage now. Let me offer my respectful obeisances unto the all-pervading, supreme person of Godhead, who possesses unlimited transcendental qualities. So that fact has already been established in the two previous verses. All right, that Krishna's qualities, they are unlimited and they are transcendental. Second, acting from within the cause of the hearts of all philosophers. Now everybody is saying different things, right? Who propagate various views, he causes them to forget their own souls, while sometimes agreeing and sometimes disagreeing among themselves. Thus, he creates within this material world a situation in which they are unable to come to a conclusion. Daksha, he's reciting this prayer called Hamsa Guhya prayers. This heavy duty philosophy, right, about creation, source of the creation. Since time immemorial, or since the creation, the cosmic manifestation, the conditioned souls have formed various parties of philosophical speculation. But this is not true of the devotees. Now I'm just going to say one thing. Lately, I saw some titles. ISKCON's institute, right, says Research Institute. This research, and Prabhupada said, we are not research, we have already found the truth. We've already reached the conclusion. There's no more research to be done. We have reached Vasudev Sarvamiti. This is, so I don't know why now, different institute, ISKCON, all scholars, all Bhakti Shastri, Bhakti Vaibhava, I don't know why they're putting the title, this Research Institute. Maybe they think they are going to get followers. Maybe they're going to merge in all the academia of the world. Prabhupada has said, we are not researchers. We have found. Right? And now we will put one foot into the research world and you don't know where you will end up. It's like dilute, until you have pure milk. Prabhupada has given pure milk, but you go on diluting. What will be left? So this is a very good passage for all our academia people. So since time immemorial, or since the creation, the cosmic manifestation, the conditioned soul have formed various parties of philosophical speculation. These are researchers, okay? But this is not true of devotees. All right? Non-devotees have different ideas of creation, maintenance, and annihilation. And therefore they are called Vadis and Prativadis, proponents and counter-proponents. It is understood from the statement of Mahabharata that there are many munis or speculators, right? Muni meaning who's using your mind. Mani. Tarko pratishtha shrutayo vibhina. Nasha rishir yasya matam na bhinam. All speculators must disagree with other speculators. Otherwise, why should there be so many opposing parties concerned with ascertaining the supreme truth? So as soon as you come up with one theory, your PhD, whatever, you go and study PhD. I don't know what's after PhD. Did they invent anything beyond PhD? I don't know.
MP.
After PhD? So what is PhD then?
One is doctorate and one is, this is a MPhil, no? MD, MPhil. MPhil is beyond the PhD. Yeah.
So they're not satisfied with PhD, right? All right. So they invented something more, right? Meaning
you might have to come up with another dissertation, probably.
Because your philosophy is not reach conclusion. You understand?
Yes.
That's the point. Philosophy hasn't reached. So okay, do more research. All right. This is what we're calling Vadis and Prativadis. Right? And then who are going to correct your MPhil, PhD, MPhil, God knows what? Who's going to correct it? Who's going to correct it? What is his degree?
The mentor's
all right. I'm just asking.
You have to have a mentor, right?
I'm just asking. Who will correct? You have to be beyond creation, right? You have to be beyond this speculation, right? Meaning it's all joke.
This is all hypothesis. You have to
Yes. They're fooling.
supplement it with some
Right?
facts.
They're fooling. They're fooling. So we are running using our intellect, those who are intellectual, right? They are running, feeling I'm getting more and more titles. But actually, they're fooling the world, they're fooling themselves. Deceit. Where did I read that about deception? The soul is so expert in deceiving himself. To live a life deceiving others and worse is to be your own deceiver. Philosophy, now Prabhupada is explaining. Philosophy, which is translated darshan, they call it. Okay, you're Phil now, I'm Phil, okay? Philosophy means finding the ultimate cause. What are you studying? What is it all about? Prabhupada is telling us. Darshan means, what am I seeing? What am I seeing? Okay, Prabhupada is going to discuss all this. So in English, or I don't know which language it says, philosophy. Philosophy means finding the ultimate cause. So that's why I said Prabhupada has eaten, chewed, digested, and written. It's like ordinary journalism. But just see what Prabhupada has written. Philosophy means finding the ultimate cause. As Vedanta Sutra very reasonably said, Athato Brahma Jigyasa. Human life is meant for understanding the ultimate cause. Athato, now that you have become a human being, Brahma Jigyasa, meaning you should inquire with the Brahman. Jigyasa, you should be inquisitive to know who you are, where you come from, what is this creation? Is there anything beyond? Right? Anybody who, gradually become conscious, look at the stars. Did we not ask our parents what are these stars? Okay, this moon, right? Athato Brahma Jigyasa, right? The most simple religion, the most simple religion, they speak of the Creator, right? Isn't it? Meaning they accept there is a Creator. And even Aborigines, they will see, a mountain, they will see lightning, thunder, they will bow down. Right? There is something that is beyond me. So, Athato Brahma Jigyasa. So, Vedanta Sutra is saying, you have become a human being. Now you are not an animal. You have rotated in a cycle of birth and death. You have entered so many 84 lakh yoni. Now you have become a human being. You must find the truth. You should use the ultimate cause. Now, devotees accept that the ultimate cause is Krishna. Because this conclusion is supported by all Vedic literature and also by Krishna himself, who says, Aham Sarvasya Prabhavaha. I am the source of everything. Alright? Krishna is proclaiming, I am the source of everything, and he says both material and spiritual. Devotees have no problem understanding the ultimate cause of everything. But non-devotees must face many opposing elements. Why? Because everyone who wants to be a prominent philosopher invents his own way. And Phil and beyond.
Yes, and Phil
Alright.
is masters in that field.
Okay.
Also his own way.
So everyone wants to be a prominent philosopher. Who wants to be a prominent philosopher invents his own way. In India, there are many parties of philosophers, such as the Dvaitavadis, Advaitavadis, Vaisheshikas, Mimamsakas, Mayavadis, and Swabhavavadis. I don't know what are these Swabhavavadis, and each one of them opposes the other. These are Sat Darshan. All right? The Sat Darshan, 6 systems of philosophy. And yes, anyway, I've spoken about that many times. You go to vic.org, you will find all these teachers have spoken all these philosophies. And I keep saying I heard and I forgotten everything what they say. And I also concluded, why should I run after what's going on in their crazy mind? For me to memorize, write it, by heart what they are saying. They're crazy, they're imagining, right? And they haven't reached any conclusion. And poor me, I have to sit in a class, learn their philosophy and write a paper and get a doctorate and MPhil. Waste of time, right? So I just deleted all his philosophy from my memory card. So I don't know what's their philosophy. Similarly, in the Western countries, there are also many philosophers with different views of creation. Everybody is saying, like scientists saying, Big Bang. Somebody, no, not Big Bang, this something, right? Everybody is saying, and we are saying creation came from the pores of Mahavishnu. Each of these philosophies has some theory about the creation. And then somebody else will say, but you have left out this. How do you explain this? Right? And then they push it aside. They say, this is not complete.
Yeah, because in
Hello?
school we started with the theory of evolution. Now our kids are learning the Big Bang theory. So from evolution now they are teaching through the Big Bang. First they said one cell, then it developed two, and then three, and then that's how human. And now everything has come together and fallen up
From the Big Bang.
from the Big Bang. Yes.
Okay. Anyway, similarly in the Western country, there are many philosophers with different views of creation, life maintenance, and annihilation. Thus, there is undoubtedly a fact. It is undoubtedly a fact that there are countless philosophers throughout the world, each of them contradicting the others. So, I got one book so long back, it was called Dialectic Spiritualism. No, I had no idea what it's all about, but because, I'm supposed to read philosophy, and so here I am looking, because Prabhupada, Prabhupada and his disciples. So there were so many passages, they were questioning, they were putting forward the philosophies, Western philosophies, and Prabhupada was giving his comment, this. And see, I'll tell you the truth. When I first picked up Bhagavatam, I couldn't make head or tail of it. I couldn't understand Bhagavatam. Bhagavad Gita, of course, I couldn't understand. And that's how when I sat with the devotees, they taught, then I started to understand. Bhagavatam, I couldn't understand at all. I was only sitting, listening, asking millions of questions. Right? Now, this book, so after 3 years, I'll tell you after 3 years. So I got this book, Dialectic Spiritualism. And here, this philosopher, that I've forgotten, good, I've forgotten all of them. And then I think, really, it was suffering for me. It was mental torture for me to read that book. But because Prabhupada was there, he's answering, he's speaking, commenting, and then suddenly Prabhupada exploded. He said, what is this nonsense? He was sitting, what is this nonsense? I said, thank you, Prabhupada. I closed that book and never opened it again. You know what I did? I opened Bhagavatam. All right? I opened Bhagavatam. That Bhagavatam, which I couldn't understand, was like a soothing nectar, amrita, just drenching, my soul. And I thought, oh my God, in only 3 years, how much we have learned, knowingly or unknowingly, how much we have learned from Bhagavatam. But all this nonsense, because it was just nonsense. Whatever they were speaking, so Prabhupada said similarly in the Western countries, so poor Prabhupada, he was listening to all these Western philosophies until he became disgusted and he just shouted, what is this nonsense? So I took the cue and I closed that book. I said, okay, Prabhupada, I don't have to read all this to become, self-realized. Thus, it is undoubtedly a fact that there are countless philosophers throughout the world, each of them contradicting the others. Now one might ask why there are so many philosophers if the ultimate goal of philosophy is one. Everybody is looking for the same, right? Goal is one. What is the goal? What is that one goal?
To understand Krishna
To-
or to be Krishna's service.
What is the ultimate cause, right? Everybody is looking. What is the ultimate cause? That's the so they're putting up all types of philosophies, and creating different types of philosophies, and contradicting, yes, yeah, like this speculation. So Prabhupada said, why? If everybody is looking for one thing only, the goal of all philosophies is only one, right? So why are there, so many philosophies? Undoubtedly, the ultimate cause is one, the Supreme Brahman. Now, what is that Brahman? Because Athato Brahma Jigyasa, Vedanta Sutra has already put it forward. All, even those, what we call Vedic, Indian philosophers, everybody is catching hold of this one phrase only, Athato Brahma Jigyasa. All right, they caught hold of this. Now the Western philosophies, I don't know from where, what is the basis. But here Prabhupada is saying, undoubtedly the ultimate cause is one, the Supreme Brahman. As Arjuna told Krishna in Bhagavad Gita 10.12. So Arjuna made his statement. Now, we have never thought of Arjuna as a philosopher, right? Have we thought of Arjuna as a philosopher? We thought of Arjuna as what? Warrior. Chatri, right? And here he's being quoted as the philosopher. See? I'm saying this is how expert Srila Prabhupada is. As Arjuna told Krishna, among all these warring philosophy, Prabhupada pushed forward Arjuna. Because for 1 hour he put down his arms. Right? Athato Brahma Jigyasa. Right? He became student. And what was his conclusion? 10.12. Param Brahma Param Dhama Pavitram Paramam Bhavan Purusham Shasvatam Divyam Adidevam Ajaham Vibhum. You are the Supreme Brahman. Who is that you?
Krishna.
Krishna, you are the Supreme Brahman, the ultimate. Remember the ultimate cause? We're trying to find the ultimate cause. Now the verdict of Arjuna, his conclusion, after hearing Bhagavad Gita, he concluded, you are the Supreme Brahman, the ultimate, the supreme abode and purifier. Pavitram, Param, Bhavam, the eternal divine person. Purusham Shasvatam Divyam. You are the primal God, transcendental and original. And you are the unborn and all-pervading beauty. Adidevam Ajam Vibhum. Non-devotee speculators, however, do not accept an ultimate cause. So just see. All these wrangling, finally, they are not accepting an ultimate cause. Right? So what do they say? Because they are ignorant and bewildered concerning the soul and its activities, even though some of them have a vague idea of the soul, many controversies arise, and the philosophical speculators can never reach a conclusion. So ignorant, like Professor Kotovsky, Prabhupada keeps on, he was completely flabbergasted that he's a professor. And he said there's no soul. He's a professor, PhD of MPhil or whatever. Professor, right?
Professor means PhD.
Right? Right? Ignorant. Why ignorant? He doesn't know about the soul. He said after death everything is over. You and I, communism, philosophical communism, right? You and I, everything also enjoy now. Conclusion, enjoy now. There's no soul. There's no future. If you manage to escape the result of your activities, good. Do your best to escape, and you will escape. Right? And see the implication of wrong philosophy. Because they're ignorant and bewildered concerning the soul and its activity. So your soul, what does it do? Right? What does it do, soul? Right? Like people will come and say, how do you do devotional service? You say, do devotion. How do you do devotional service? Right? I also asked that question. And some of them have a vague idea of the soul, like this Mayavad or Vaisheshika or all that stuff. They have vague idea of the soul. As soon as you say soul, immediately so many controversies. Have you seen the soul? Have you seen the soul? They'll ask, have you seen the soul? Not visible. So we'll say not visible. Right?
But Mataji, if we don't have the soul, then the universal law of karma doesn't work at all. It is because of the soul's transmigration only the karmic, that law works. Otherwise, if you don't have
Have you seen the soul? Pratyaksha, okay? I'm just saying controversy, right? You know, your soul, the child, anybody must see. So who has seen the soul? Reincarnation. Have you been able to explain what is reincarnation? Right? You say you become a dog in your next life. Meaning, how does this body, human, female form body, transmute into a dog body? Have you been able to explain it? Right? I mean, maybe you're not preaching, that's why you don't know. But if you preach, you meet so much opposition. Right? So here it is. So even though some of them have a vague idea of the soul, many controversies arise. And the philosophical speculation can never reach a conclusion. Now, why is it that these speculators are not reaching any conclusion? This is the most amazing thing. Anyway, it took me many years of study to figure out why are we saying that there is a soul within the body. Any guess? What is it that makes us say there is so many arguments? You read the entire Bhagavad Gita. There's only one verse. That's the proof of the soul. Dehino smin yatha dehe kamaram yavanam jara tatha dehantaras praktes dhiras tatra namuhyati. How can you prove there's no soul? Who's saying it? How do you know? Right? How do you know? Shabda Praman. Shabda Praman. Krishna is starting with Pratyaksha. It's visible. The change, right? Your change of body, meaning you are from youth, from this, and then he say, similarly. And by Anuman, you can figure out that the soul is constant, even with a change of body in this life. Then Krishna says, Tatha dehantara praktir. Dhiras tatram. Krishna is saying, so our Praman is Krishna is saying, and therefore I am accepting. There's no proof. There's no proof of the soul. Krishna is saying, therefore I am accepting. And here Prabhupada is explaining. All of these speculators are envious of the Supreme Person Godhead. They're envious of the Supreme Person Godhead, okay? Now, we devotees, we say, Krishna said, therefore we accept. Right? Follow? Devotees will say, Krishna said, therefore we accept. But those who are envious, what do? They go on speculating. They read this verse.
Where you found that Krishna said this? Who has written that?
Yeah.
Is that right way of expressing it. Is Krishna did actually say it? Did Krishna even exist? Then it goes to that.
You follow? Yeah, that's what happens. That's what happens. Oh, this Bhagavad Gita was written, 2000 years ago. So many controversies,
And it's
right?
completely diluted now.
Yeah, so many.
So, yes.
Correct. This is what. Why? Prabhupada is explaining here. All of these speculators are envious. All these speculators are envious of the Supreme Person Godhead, and as Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita 16:19-20, Tanaham dvishatah krurahan samsareshu naradhaman shipanya jashram ashubhan asurishvaeva yonishu. Asurim yonim appanam mudha janmani mama prapyaheva kunteya tato yantya dhamam gati. Those who are envious and mischievous, who are the lowest among men, are cast by me into the ocean of material existence, into various demoniac species of life, attaining repeated birth among the species of demoniac life. Such persons can never approach me. Gradually, they sink down to the most abominable type of existence. Now, Prabhupada has quoted this verse, and he will explain how this applies to those speculators. Now, listen carefully. Because of the envy of the Supreme Person of Godhead, non-devotees are born in demoniac families, life after life. Alright? Meaning they may be philosophers. Aparita jnana. Namam duskritino mudha prapadyante naradhama. And Mayaya Pahrita Jnana. So they're great philosophers. But their knowledge have been stolen by Maya. Because of the envy of the Supreme Person of Godhead, non-devotees are born in demoniac families life after life. They are great offenders, and because of their offenses, the Supreme Lord keeps them always bewildered. Alright? Okay, go on with your philosophy. Good. Right? Because they don't want Krishna. Whereas devotees, they want to discover Krishna. Remember, we have read in the previous verses. Devotees actually want to discover Krishna. And they're ready to go through the sadhana, which is surrender. Right? This is what we read. Namaskuru, right? Surrender, bowing down. They are great offenders, and because of their offenses, the Supreme Lord keeps them always bewildered. Kurvanti chaisham muhur atma moham. The Lord, the Supreme Person Godhead, purposefully keeps them in darkness. Purposefully keep them in darkness. Atma moham. Now, the great authority Parasara, the Father Vyasadeva, explained the Supreme Person Godhead thus. Jnana Shakti Baleshwarya Viryate Cham Shesheshatah Bhagavat Shabda Vachani Vina Heyer Gunadhivihi. The demoniac speculators cannot understand the transcendental qualities, form, pasam, strength, knowledge, and opulence of the Supreme Person Godhead, which are all free from material contamination. Vina Heyer Gunadhivihi. These speculators are envious of the existence of the Lord. Jagat Ahur Anishwaram. This material world, they say this material world, their conclusion is that the entire cosmic manifestation is what? Anishwaram. Ishwara? Now, Anishwaram, no controller. But it's just working naturally. Oh, how the world is? It's nature. Nature works, right? There's no supreme control. There's no Ishwara in charge. It's all happening automatically. Nature. How you born? Nature. It's natural, right? Everything is nature. Thus, they are kept in constant darkness, birth after birth, and cannot understand the real cause of all causes. This is the reason why there are so many schools of philosophical speculation. See how expertly Prabhupada is, explaining this. I mean, it's such a purport. I thought I have read or heard in classes, this whole Bhagavatam, Canto 6. I'm sure we have done all this.
That means Mataji, till this material existence conclude, that is Brahma's one day, whatever it is, 4,32,000 multiplied by 1,000. So that many one day, that many years, whatever it might be, this will continue.
What? Oh, this Tarka.
This tarka.
So long there are demoniac
Vadi
people.
Prativadi.
Demoniac mentality. What is demoniac mentality? Don't want to surrender to Krishna.
Envious of Krishna.
Yeah. So they will. When we spoke of deception, right? You deceive somebody, but when you deceive yourself, right? When you do this self-deception, how will you come out? How will you come out? Right? So dangerous. And that's why Kono Bhagyavan Guru Krishna Pai Bhakti Lata Beach. Right? So if you meet a devotee guru, okay, and you are able to surrender to him and accept his instruction, Brahmanand, this Vasudev Saramiti, Bahunam Jananam Ante Jnanavam. Yes, and that Jnanavam, okay, he's not a small person, that Jnanavam. He has been like this for so many Bahunam Jananam. Bahunam Jananam. Right?
He has the Jnana, but he has not come in contact with the
Yes.
Mahatma.
Yes. So finally, when he comes in touch, see, it's not that he's not coming in touch, but he's just brushing it aside. He's evading. Right? See, you'll find that mostly people who join ISKCON, they may not be great scholars, right? But they are accepting Prabhupada's philosophy, all right? Their problem may be sinful deeds, right? Usually not philosophy. And if somebody doesn't accept the philosophy, he will not come. He or she will not come. Or maybe in your family, you have people who are great intellectual, jnani, right? Always arguing, and never not accepting. Whew. Very unfortunate. And usually these people who are jnanis, they become inactive. They go into inertia, meaning they are not going to be like the materialist, earning, right? They'll become what you call intellectual lazy bums. And if it happens that you have somebody in your family like that, everybody's criticizing he or her, but he's Aram saying, he's Atmaram, right? Neither here nor there. Just see, So you say he's not unpar, right? But he's not earning, he's not doing this. Why? He's just sitting because he has understood being in the material world, earning, doing all his ambition is hell, so he's not going to do it. But he will not also
take a step towards
Krishna. Yeah, it is very dangerous. Neutrality, right? Rather, you're fooling both sides. It's terrible. Right? So that's why you need to learn this if you want to be an asset to the world. Right? You need to learn this, and as I said, Prabhupada wrote all this Srimad Bhagavatam Mahamune Krite, not for the highly intellectuals, but for Sri Vaishya
Vaishyas and
Shudra,
Shudras.
right? If you become simple hearted, non envious, you can understand. Right?
That is the quality, being non-envious and simple-hearted. So at least I can say that much about myself. I never say that I am a devotee to nobody, but this I can say. Simple-hearted and non-envious.
All right. Thank you. Hare Krishna.